learning called please. Please is a little different. It is not quite the same as can or would, but it is a way of saying something politely. Now, the word please can move around to different places in the sentence. I can put the word please at the beginning of the sentence. If I am having dinner at your house and I would like some water, I would say, please, could you give me some water? I put it at the beginning of the sentence. I could also put it in the middle. I could say, could you please give me some water? Please give. It comes just before the verb in that case. Not just anywhere in the sentence. It must go right before the verb. Could you please give me some water? Give is the verb. Or please can go at the end of the sentence. I can say, could you give me some water, please? So the word please moves around to different places. It can be at the beginning of the sentence, at the end of the sentence, or in the middle, just before the verb.
So I'm going to reset. We're going to have a little activity now. You're going to practice this. And it's going to work perfectly because we're going to work in groups of 2. So you two can work together and you two can be partners, okay? Now, I'm going to give you scenarios or questions that you're going to have to ask each other using would, may, could, making questions. Okay, so I'm going to give this to you, and we will read these together. I'll help you read them. Okay, and here's one for you. So let's look at them now. You two are working together, and you two are working together. So read as much of the cards as you can. How about you? Let's read yours. You have just missed your bus. You missed the bus. And you need to go home. You need to call your mom. You're going to call your mother to tell her you will be late coming home. You need to ask someone politely to use the telephone. So it says, example, do you have a phone I could use? Or would it be okay if I used your phone? How about, let's do this one like this. So we need to use someone's telephone, right? And you don't have one, pretend. So let's try this. So what am I going to ask? Can I please use your telephone? Very good. What are some other ways that we could ask this question? Using
would I please use your telephone?
You can use would. We would change the sentence a little bit and we would say, would I be able to, this one gets a little bit longer, be able to use your telephone. Okay. Huh. Can we use them all? What would we say here with may?
May please.
May I please
Your telephone.
use your telephone? Very good. How about could?
Could I
Use your telephone. Very good. So you're sounding very polite. And when I would hear you, I would say, yes, you can use my telephone. Okay? Can you read yours for us?
You are at the dinner table and are
Pouring yourself.
pouring yourself a drink.
Oh, look. Pouring yourself a drink. What else does it say? Offer. Let's see. Offer to everyone else at the table if they would like you to pour them a drink. Okay, so you're pouring yourself a drink at the table, and you have your family sitting with you. What would you say?
Would I please have a drink?
Yeah, or would you, maybe I'm pouring at the table. Okay, I'm pouring myself, and you all have glasses, and I would say, oh, would you like some water? And what will you say to me? Yes.
Please.
Yes, please. So let's find out. Let's write that one up together there too. So, would, what am I writing? Would you
Would you
like,
please
would you like some water?
would you like some water?
Very good. And what would you say back if you did want water? You would say, yes, I would like some water, please. Or yes, please. Yes, please. Very good. That was. Now look at what modal did we use? Would. We used the modal would. Very good. Excellent. So that's great. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the way that we answer a sentence like this or a question like this. When someone is asking you a question using modals of politeness, we are going to answer them the right way. What would you say? You already said this, Lisa. If you were the teacher and I said, could you please help me with my worksheet? What would you say to me?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Yes, of course you would. That's right. You could also say, I would be delighted to help you. That would be a nice way to say it. A little bit longer way, but that's right. That's very good. Now, what do you say when someone gives you something? For example, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to give you, can you ask me for my pen?
Please, your pen.
Yeah, please, may I have your pen? And I say, yes, you may have my pen. And you say, thank you. Very good. What did Vika say at the end? She said, thank you. Now we say thank you after someone has given us something or when someone has done something for us. We say thank you because we want to be polite, right? We want to use manners. Do you know what manners are? When you're sitting at the table, is it polite to show everybody your food in your mouth? No. So good manners would mean, right, that we're going to eat in the way that we're all eating together. So what we're going to do now is look at some manners. What do you do at home when you're eating supper? What do you do? Does your mom cook the food for you? Okay. And then do you sit down at the table? You sit down at the table and everybody eats together, right? We all have supper together. Now at supper, that's where we use a lot of manners. We use a lot of manners at the dinner table, okay? So I'm going to have Joanne help me move. We're going to practice eating supper. Well, I'm so glad that you all could come over for supper. You know what we're having for supper tonight? What would you like to have? Pizza. Okay, we're going to have pizza for supper tonight. Okay? So why doesn't everybody come to a spot at the table? Okay, come and take a spot. Yeah, come on up. Find your plate. This is your plate. Very good. Okay. I'm going to tell you what you need and then you have to ask someone for it. Okay? So, Vika, you need some water. Here's the water. And you need to ask for the water. So what are you going to say? ask for the water, you're going to say, may I please have the water? Can you ask? Okay, ask. Say, may I please have the water?
May I please eat the water?
May I please have the water? What are you going to do? Oh, you're going to pass it. Oh, you're going to pour it for her. Well, that's even more polite. And what will you say? Thank you. You'll say, thank you very much. And you will say, you're welcome. Everybody say, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You are welcome. That's another polite thing to say. Okay, Elisa, you need the sugar. You need to ask Elena for the sugar.
May I please have a sugar?
Okay, yeah, and now pass the sugar.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Very good. Now, you need the salt.
And please, and salt.
Oh, may I please have the salt? Oh,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Very good. Now, Vika, you need the salt for your food because the pizza doesn't have enough salt on it. So you need to ask for the salt.
Please, your pizza.
Please, may I have the salt?
Salt.
Yeah, so,
Thank you.
very good. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Very good. And Elisa, why don't you pour yourself some water? But before you do, why don't you ask everyone else if they would like water?
Do you want some water?
Oh, how about using one of our Moedls of politeness?
Would you like some water?
Would you like some water? Anybody? Would you like some water? You want some water to drink? Yes?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
You won't.
Okay, good. So you would say, when Elisa asks you, ask again, do you want some water?
Do you like some water?
Or using a Moedl, would you like some water?
No.
No, thank you. So when you don't want something, you say, no, thank you. When you want some, you say, yes, please. Okay? Yes, please, and no, thank you.
You saw how the children were speaking politely to each other at the dinner table. They were saying, may I please have some water? And the person would give them some water, and then they would say, thank you, and the other person would say, you're welcome. These are all parts of being polite. When you ask politely, someone does something and you say, thank you, that's polite, and then they say, you are welcome, you're welcome. They say that to be polite as well. So why don't you try that tonight? When you are with your family and you are having dinner, when you want something on the table, ask politely, say, may I please have the salt? May I please have the water? And then when someone gives you something, you say, thank you. And they should say, you're welcome, if they want to be polite as well. I hope you enjoy doing that with your family tonight.
Just to remind us of what we learned today. We learned about Moedls of politeness, right? And Moedls of politeness are please, may, would, could. And remember, we use those in our sentences and in our questions when we want to be polite. Okay? Please, can you come over today? That's more polite than saying, can you come over today? Using please is polite. Now, what about when we answer, when we respond, what are our polite words?
Thank you.
Thank you. And you're welcome. That's what we say in response. So I'm going to practice again. What will you say? Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. May I have that back, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very good. And remember, when we're saying yes or no to something that we want, we say, what do we say after we say yes? Yes, please, right? Would you like to come over today? Yes, please. That would be fun. Right? Would you like to eat worms for dessert?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. That's a polite way of saying, I don't like that. That's right. Very good. You guys have done a great job. Good job.
Well, let's wrap up. What did we learn today? We learned how to ask something politely. We learned that to do that, you need words called modals, and that modals help us ask for things in a way that's very nice and very friendly. Two of the modals are for when I want to do something. May I have some water? May I come in? Or can I come in? We learned that two of the modals will be for when we want someone else to do something. Could you pass the salt? Would you give me some bread, please? And these are the ways that we ask others to do something. And we learned that that word please will move around. It can be at the beginning or the end or in the middle, right before the verb with a sentence. Well, this is very important for us to know, because every culture has rules about being polite, and we need to practice them with each other. It shows that we value people. So let me ask you something politely. After this video is over, would you please turn off the video? Would you please come back and join our class another day? And would you please have a good day?